Hello and welcome. You're watching Property Hotline with me, Kavita Krishnan. Today we are answering questions related to financing your dream home. And with me in the studio is a very special guest. We have in the studio Kartik Jhaveri. Now, Kartik is the founder and director at Transcend Consulting India Private Limited. And he's also a very reputed financial planner. Kartik, thank you very much for coming.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Let's take, we already have a caller who's called in with a question. Praveen has called in. Praveen?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening. Tell us what's your question.
मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि सर समझो कि मैंने एक प्री लॉन्च प्रोजेक्ट में इन्वेस्ट करने का डिसीजन लिया और कि समझो प्रोजेक्ट कंप्लीट होने के लिए 3 साल है, तो मैं रजिस्ट्रेशन के बाद मैं बैंक लोन लेता हूँ और पर मेरा ये फैसला है कि मैं ईएमआई आफ्टर कंप्लीशन स्टार्ट करने को ऑप्ट करता हूँ, तो बैंक वो जो 3 साल का इंटरेस्ट है वो कैसे मतलब रिकवर करता है? मतलब वो एक्स्ट्रा इंटरेस्ट लगाता है कि ईएमआई एक्स्ट्रा चार्ज करता है?
मतलब प्रवीण, आपका सवाल ये है कि क्या आप ये चाहते हैं कि पूरा ईएमआई आप पोजीशन के बाद ही दे, कि ईएमआई का कोई हिस्सा आप पहले देने को तैयार है?
नहीं, ईएमआई मेरा स्टार्ट पोजीशन के बाद, पोजीशन नॉट इन द सेंस 100% डिसबर्समेंट होता है,
उसके बाद आपका ईएमआई शुरू हो, ऐसा आप चाहते हैं?
हाँ, प्री ईएमआई मुझे नहीं भरना है।
प्री ईएमआई आपको नहीं देना है, राइट? Kartik, do banks actually give that? Because I believe that the EMI clock would start ticking the day the loan amount is disbursed, right?
Absolutely, 100%. प्रवीण, ऐसा होता है, जिस दिन से आपने लोन लिया है उस दिन से मीटर शुरू हो जाता है. सो फॉर द बेनिफिट ऑफ अदर पीपल ऑल्सो, मॉरेटोरियम पीरियड नहीं होता, किसी प्रकार का आपको डिस्काउंट या किसी प्रकार का आपको एक ऐसा पीरियड नहीं दिया जाता कि जहां अगर आप नहीं पे करेंगे तो एक ओके है. However, what needs to be understood is there are lots of cases where the builder himself is applying for a certain kind of a loan on your credentials and is giving you an offer. So it is actually an offer saying that up to your possession you don't have to pay any pre-EMI interest, because the builder himself is paying it, and that is inbuilt into the whole.
That's like a discount.
That's a discount. That's an indirect way of giving a discount. So if the builder is giving you this kind of a benefit, then you will be able to be in a situation where you don't have to pay pre-EMI. Otherwise, you have no choice, but you have only 2 options. As soon as you take the loan from the bank, you have to start paying the pre-EMI, which is only the interest component. But for a benefit of a lot of other people, the bank is also happy to accept your full EMI, and that actually helps you in some sense. You know, the reason for that is because here you are not only paying the interest, you are paying your full EMI because that's your eligibility. So my suggestion is go and start paying your principal straight away, because that way, even if the project is getting delayed, for example, if it gets delayed by 2 years, imagine the interest cost that you will pay will be humongous. But right now, if you can afford it within your EMI, that's your eligibility, may as well start paying it back.
Kartik, because you brought up pre-EMI and full EMI, could you explain or break down to our viewers what is pre-EMI? What does it comprise of?
Take an example, you take a home loan of say 50 lakhs, that is the sanctioned limit. But right now you have to pay 10 lakhs to the builder. So 10 lakhs is what you have taken the disbursement for and given it to the builder. Now out of this 10 lakh, let's say the interest rate is 9%, so which means you are going to pay 90,000 rupees. 90,000 rupees divided by 12 is 7,500 rupees per month. That 7,500 rupees is your pre-EMI interest. But your EMI itself could be maybe 50,000 rupees, because you have taken a sanction of say 50 lakhs and you are going to take a disbursement also of 50 lakhs. Let's walk on that assumption. So which means your eligibility is there. You have the capability to pay 50,000. So why would you only want to pay 7,500? You may as well pay off the full 50,000 straight away. So what happens is 7,500 will go towards your interest. The remaining 42,500 will pay off your principal. So next month, your interest will be on only approximately 9,60,000 rupees. So therefore, your interest also will keep coming down and you are automatically paying your principal right from the word go. And therefore, I think you should, if you can do it, if there is no other compulsion, please go and pay your full EMIs, and that way you can do a great job.
So essentially what you're saying is you can go, if you take a loan, home loan for an under construction project, मतलब जैसे प्रवीण चाह रहे हैं, अगर वो अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन प्रोजेक्ट के लिए होम लोन ले रहे हैं, तो वो बैंक से ये कह सकते हैं, आइडियली उनको जो प्री ईएमआई है उनको भरना ही पड़ेगा, और कोई रास्ता नहीं है. लेकिन ये जो प्री ईएमआई है उसमें सिर्फ इंटरेस्ट न देकर आप कह रहे हैं कि आप प्रिंसिपल भी साथ में दे, ताकि आपका प्रिंसिपल का जो कंपोनेंट है वो भी घटता जाए. तो प्रवीण, आपको प्री ईएमआई तो देना ही पड़ेगा, क्योंकि बैंक तो इंतज़ार करने वाला नहीं है। बैंक अगर लोन आपको देता है, डिसबर्स करता है, तो वो आपसे उसकी वसूली जो है तुरंत शुरू करेगा। हालांकि कुछ ऐसे केसेस ज़रूर है, काफ़ी ऐसे स्कीम्स मार्केट में है जहाँ डेवलपर आपको कह रहा है कि प्री ईएमआई जो है, यानी जो इंटरेस्ट है वो मैं भरूंगा पोजीशन तक, पोजीशन के बाद जो है आपको ईएमआई भरना पड़ेगा। लेकिन इन स्कीम्स में भी रिस्क होता है, इसलिए अगर आप इन स्कीम्स के लिए ऑप्ट कर रहे हैं तो जो फाइन प्रिंट है वो आप ज़रूर पढ़ लीजिएगा और समझ बूझकर फिर आगे बढ़िए, फैसला लीजिए।
मतलब ये मतलब कि मैं स्टार्टिंग से प्रिंसिपल भर सकता हूँ अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन में भी?
जी, स्टार्टिंग से आप प्रिंसिपल भर सकते हैं, ये आपको अलग से आपके बैंक को बताना पड़ेगा।
हाँ, बताना पड़ेगा। तो ये समझो सर, ये मैं बैंक डिसाइड करेगा मैं कितना प्रिंसिपल भर सकता हूँ? क्या मैं डिसाइड करूँगा? मैं आफ्टर 10
क्या वो डिसाइड कर सकते हैं कितना प्रिंसिपल भरना है उन्हें?
यस, दैट फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी एग्जिस्ट। ये फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है, पर जो आपका ईएमआई जो होगा वो ईएमआई तो जो भी आपका टोटल लोन बनेगा उसके हिसाब से ही बनेगा। जैसे मैंने उदाहरण दिया था कि यदि 50 लाख का लोन ले रहे हैं और अगर तकरीबन 50,000 रुपए का इंस्टॉलमेंट है तो आप 50,000 का इंस्टॉलमेंट भरिए, फिर तो आप प्रीपेमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं। अगर आपको ज्यादा भरना है तो
जो प्रिंसिपल है वो आप हिसाब लगा सकते हैं कि आपको कितना देना है, लेकिन जो इंटरेस्ट है वो बैंक तय करेगा कि आपको कितना देना है। ठीक है, थैंक यू वेरी मच प्रवीण फॉर कॉलिंग इन। लेट्स मूव ऑन। वी हैव अनदर क्वेश्चन दैट्स come in from Kishore Talwaria through email. Now Kishore says that he has a net take home salary of 65,000 rupees excluding an HRA of 10,000 rupees which is being deducted by the government every quarter. How much loan is he eligible for?
See, it's a very simple calculation. The loan that you're going to be eligible for should be having an EMI which is approximately between 1/3 to half of your income. Now what that means is per lakh, let us say the EMI is 1,000 rupees per lakh, say for a 15 to 20 year tenure. Okay, approximately the difference will be only a few few rupees here and there, so it's not too much. Now if your income is 65 plus say your HRA which is totally 75, which means you will definitely get 1/3 of that which is allowable as your EMI, which is 25,000, and which automatically translates to a loan of 25 lakhs. And on the upper limit, depending on the depending on your expenses and other due diligence that the bank will do on your expenses that you are having currently, maybe they can even go up to maybe 35 lakhs because they'll allow you to pay an EMI of 35,000. So my guess is minimum 25 lakhs, maximum maybe 35, 38 lakhs. That's the kind of loan that you can expect based on the details and information that you've given us.
Right, 25 to 35 lakh is your loan eligibility. Let's move on. V. Chhatrapati writes in to us on Facebook next. He says that I have a home loan of 13 lakh rupees. Can I pledge gold and avail loan from the bank and pay off part of this home loan? Is it a good solution?
You know, I don't want to agree with Mr. Ganapati because what happens here is, now if you're going to take a gold loan, firstly let's understand the people who give you a gold loan, it doesn't come cheap. It comes at a pretty hefty interest. Correct? We are not talking about the gold monetization scheme here, but we are just talking about a,
Yeah, so you're essentially taking a costlier loan to pay off a cheaper loan.
Absolutely. And then not only that, your asset itself is also growing, right? Now we expect real estate to grow anywhere between 12% to 15%, 18% on a per annum basis. Sometimes it does not work in a linear fashion, but let's say in an average 5-year period, it would typically double and which would effectively translate into 15, 16% compounded rate of growth. So now you are actually paying a loan which is typically available at between 9 to 9.25, maybe 950 at the most in the current market scenario. And to pay off that loan, you're going to borrow a loan at about 15 or 18 or 20%, which is actually quite a hefty thing. If you're going to give your jewelry, now we're talking about gold monetization. If you do that, then your actually jewelry is going to be melted. Now, do you really want to do that? You will actually earn some interest on that, and you will get
so essentially, this is a case of being penny wise, but
yes,
pound
I completely
foolish,
disagree. I would suggest that if you have to make a prepayment or any sort of payment, pay it out of some bonuses that you get. If you get some windfall, if you have some profits of your other investments, if some investment is maturing, if some insurance policy is maturing, there are lots of sources by which you can actually augment your loan. But don't worry, it's not a bad loan unless your financial situation calls for it. I think the loan can go on. You get tax benefits also, by the way.
Right, don't hurry to pay off your home loan. You get tax benefits. You're creating an asset. So that should be the least of your worries, in fact. And you know what you were talking, Kartik, just now about using windfall gains. Our next query is very similar. Anandana has written in. He says that given the current market scenario, if one expects a lump sum amount next quarter, would you recommend part repayment of the home loan or investing this amount in equity mutual funds. His home loan is currently at 10.25% per annum.
Okay. Now, with that 10.25, straight I want to make a query, comment on that actually. If you can refinance it, you might even be able to get a 9.25 or 9.15. Now, if that's possible, please investigate and do that. Having said that, this windfall that you're going to get, yes, you have one choice. If your financial situation is such that, this loan is causing a little bit of pressure on you, the EMI is kind of, squeezing your finances a little bit. If you think that is valid, by all means, you can do that. Ordinarily, what I like to advise is that whenever you get these kind of windfalls, whenever you have these surplus monies, why don't you go to the equity mutual fund, invest it? Because you can anyways afford the EMI, and that's the first premises on the basis of which you got your loan in the first place. So continue paying your EMIs, invest your surpluses. Over the 4, 5, 6 year period, you will get substantial profits. Use that profit, then make a prepayment, because your profits are going to happen because equity mutual funds will on an historical average grow at 15%, 18%, 20%. Versus your loan, which is going to be at about 9.25%, plus your real estate itself, which is moving at 15%. So it's completely unwise because it's a one-way street, that you're just paying the money, and then at the end of it, what? You feel mentally satisfied that my loan is paid off. But then, you can have your cake and eat it too. Why don't you invest the money, make profit, and then do it? You could also do one more interesting thing, which is that you could go to some of these, very interesting bank accounts that a couple of banks float for you, which is, they're known by various names, but essentially it's a account which is linked to your home loan account. It's a savings account or a current account, which is linked to your home loan account. The idea is that whatever money you park in that bank account, automatically that much portion is considered as a deemed prepayment for that one day, and your interest keeps going down. So that is something that you could definitely...
That's the overdraft home loan?
Yes, it's like a OD. It's not exactly like an OD facility.
But that's what
it's called Home Saver,
called, right?
Max Gain. There are various names for it. But the whole idea is that you have a bank account and you have a home loan account. So every time you park money in your bank account, that much money is offsetted from your home loan.
Two completely separate
There are two completely separate accounts. And the good thing is that you can use
what
that...
I'm asking you is, it could be two completely separate
No,
banks.
it cannot be separate banks. No, it cannot be.
So your bank has to give that facility.
Yes.
Only then you can...
Yeah, typically I think HSBC gives you, Standard Chartered gives you, Axis I think gives you this thing, Citibank also gives you this facility. So there are, SBI also gives you this facility. So there are a handful of them. Now whether they're doing it at this point of time or not, I cannot validate
you
that.
need to do some homework on
Yes.
that. But net, Anandana, what Kartik is essentially telling you is make your money work for you. Don't work for your money. Okay, let's move on. We have a query coming in through Facebook from Mohammed. Mohammed says, I'm planning to buy a house in my hometown for which I'm taking a loan of 15 lakh rupees. What are the documents that I need to submit while taking a home loan? Okay,
it's pretty standard. So prima facie, the documents would depend on the institution that you're going to, whether it's a bank or an NBFC, whichever way it is. But very, very broadly speaking, you will have to obviously give your proof of identity, proof of address, which is one. You will have to give your registration document for that property that you're going to mortgage with the institution. And of course, you will have to give your income paper so that they can do their due diligence to find out if you are eligible for that kind of loan or not. So in summary, proof of personal address, proof of identity, your income papers and property documents. Now, whatever search reports, etc. they want, either they may ask you to do it or they might actually ask you to, they might just do it themselves. They might do an investigation or a property audit themselves. So both the things are possible. If they do it themselves, they'll charge you a little bit, or maybe they'll just ask you that, okay, here's a panel of lawyers, please ask them to do it, and you can pay them directly for a property title search and so on and so forth. So now that would depend on property to property.
So Kartik, just because we are talking home loan 101
That's right,
here,
yes.
Is this similar for a resale property? Say I was buying a flat from somebody, from an existing owner.
That's right.
Would the documents be the same, or would I have to give any additional documents?
No, in fact, in a resale property, you might have to give more. The reason for that simply being that if it's a brand new project or it's a house that a builder is selling, a lot of times the institution would have already done the due diligence and approved that project,
Right.
and that makes your life a little bit easier. If it's a resale property, then the institution needs to go into the 30-year title search report just to make sure that all the linking documents are in order. There is no title mismatch somewhere, or there is no anomaly in the title that they are going to get, because they're going to mortgage your property. And tomorrow, if God forbid, if you are not in a position to repay your loan or repay your EMIs on time, and if they have to go under SURFACE Act and auction your place, and if they have to take over your property, then they should be in a position to give a clear title to the next buyer. So therefore, it's essential for them to do a thorough due diligence and a much deeper one. So you might actually have to give more documents. You may have to
Right.
get documents from the society also, depending. And again, like I said, it's institutional to institution.
Right.
But typically, lots of things they'll ask
So
you to
key
give you.
takeaway there, when you're applying for a home loan, make it clear to your bank whether you're taking this for a new property which you're buying from the builder or for a resale property. In both cases, the documents that you need to submit might differ a little bit. Welcome back. You're watching Property Hotline with me, Kavita Krishnan. Kartik Jhaveri is in the studio and he's answering all your questions related to financing your dream home. Next, we have a caller on the line. I'm told Jaya Mansukhani has called in. Jaya?
Hi.
Hi, tell us what's your question.
Yeah, good evening. I am Mrs. Mansukhani here, and I'm a senior citizen.
Okay.
And I am interested to invest under 2080 scheme in Mumbai, preferably Vasai Virar or New Mumbai side.
Okay.
I am ready with the 20% payment of 50 lakhs investment. Now, my queries are, first, is it a good way to invest now or wait for some time? Second, please suggest me some good projects under this scheme. Okay? And can I ask third one?
Yes, tell us what's the third question.
Third query is it necessary to go for loan of 80% or 80% can be paid when the property is ready?
Okay,
Right?
Jaya, right. Jaya, you did ask us if we could tell you which are good projects. Have you identified any particular project and could you give us what scheme they are offering?
No. I have not investigated anything.
Okay.
I just wanted to know the expert views under this scheme, 2080 scheme.
Okay, Jaya, so I will ask Kartik to step in and answer your question. But before that, let me just tell you something. Today, we can answer the home finance bit of your question and tell you whether it makes sense from a financial point of view to actually get into a scheme like this and how you should go about it.
Okay.
As far as identifying projects are concerned, we'll take up your question again and get it answered, when we do an episode on buying, selling and investing in real estate, which we do on Mondays, Fridays and Saturdays, right? So over to Kartik. Kartik, could you help Jaya?
Okay, so Jaya, what happens is 2080 is a good idea, right? Because obviously you have to pay 20% and the 80% is going to come later. But now every project will have its own terms and conditions. Sometimes that 80% is something that you have to pay on possession. Sometimes that 80% is as part of a loan and for which the builder is paying the interest on that loan, and therefore it's happening although on your credentials, but you are not affected by it because he's directly paying that interest burden of your 80% to the financing bank or the financing NBFC. Now, if this is going to be your first residence, I know you're a senior citizen, but I'm still saying that, and for the benefit of other viewers also, if this is your first home, then maybe you should not go and get into a scheme like this, because you see a lot of times what happens is with the real estate market being in the condition that it is, which is quite a recessionary phase, the projects could be delayed inordinately, and if it's delayed, and if it's your first home, then we have a problem on hand. If it's an investment property, then by all means go ahead and you can do it, because if the project gets delayed and comes even after 2 years or 3 years of delay, you are not so adversely affected, because in the interim period your property value or the value in that locality anyway is rising. So you are not at a complete loss, and your stake is only the 20%. What other investors should also understand is, if the builder has got this 80% sanction on your credentials, and if something goes wrong with the project, then that 80% is your liability. And now coming again back to you, because you're a senior citizen, in India we don't really have this facility. Even if you have pension and things like that, most institutions are not very happy to lend to senior citizens for even as much as maybe 5 years or a 10-year period. I mean, leave aside 20 and 30-year mortgages. So that unfortunately is a little bit of a problem. However, if you have a child who is at a much younger age than you, then you could actually be the co-applicant, co-owner of the property, and based on the credentials of your child, son, daughter, whatever the case might be, you may still be able to get this sort of a loan, because then the institution would look at the younger person and then look at the number of years that your child has up to the age of retirement. And that's what really unfortunately happens. So, we don't get loans very easily for senior citizens.
We do hear of cases where, senior citizens can get loans, but I'm told you get it at a smaller tenure and a higher rate of interest. Is that true?
What happens is, if you're, for example, 50 today, and you're not a senior citizen, obviously.
Right.
But by the time you finish your loan, you will be a senior citizen.
Right.
So some banks would allow you that 5 years from 60 to 65, even though your retirement is at 60, and considering that you're going to get pension in, a large part of the loan is already going to be in. So to that extent, that's possible. What you might want to do is maybe get a loan against securities, or you have another property against which you could raise a loan. Because in those kind of cases, you will still get the money. Loan against security is the easiest thing to do. Loan against property, you'll probably you'll face the same sort of a roadblock.
Right.
So, I mean, loan options as a senior citizen are very, very limited.
Right. So Jaya, essentially, your options as a senior citizen to raise a home loan are very limited.
No, I'm not
right.
interested. See, I'm not interested in taking loan.
Okay.
After 3-4 years, when the property is ready, by that time I'll be ready with the 80% amount.
Oh, which we already have said is a fantastic idea, because if this is an investment property, go ahead, because your risk is only that 20%, which is right now.
Right.
Yeah, right
Of course,
now,
you want to look at the
20%.
credibility of the builder. You want to know his past track record, whether they have delivered things on time or not. So that basic amount of due
So
diligence
essentially,
and
Jaya, you need to do
investigation
your
we
due
do.
diligence. You need to do a thorough investigation, because at the end of the day, it's a lot of money that you are committing, even if it is only 20%. So thoroughly investigate, do your due diligence, read the agreement, go to a lawyer, go to a tax consultant, do all of that, and then go and sign on the dotted line. But like you said, if you are ready with the 20, and if you can, fork out the remaining 80% 4 or 5 years down the line, then it's a great scheme for you to get into.
Yeah.
Right?
So I can go without taking the loan. My point is I don't want to take loan for 80% right now. So I can pay it later on after
I
3
think that
years.
should be...
Absolutely, Jaya, you can do that. And what we were trying to answer is that
Right.
senior citizens like you and others will actually not even get a loan in case if you wanted to take one. So you will have to use your own resources.
So yes, Jay, you can go ahead and you can use your own resources and buy that house, right? Thank you very much for calling in. Next, we have a question that's come in through an email from Ganesh. Now, Ganesh says that if I take a home loan when a property is under construction and the construction stops, are the banks liable to take any responsibility? I don't think any bank would want to do that. What do you have to
Absolutely,
say?
no question about it. Bank is not going to take any responsibility. However, the problem is that if the construction stops and you have taken a loan from the bank, it is your liability to continuously keep paying the bank irrespective of the condition of the construction. Just because the construction is down, the bank will not give you any sort of benefit. You will either have to pay up the loan through your own resources, or you will have to just continuously keep paying the EMI to the bank, so long as the project continues or resumes or whatever the case might be. But your loan will have to be paid with your EMI
so
or interest.
you have taken the loan, you are liable to repay that loan. The bank is not going to foot the liability. With that, we are completely out of time on this edition of Property Hotline, but we'll be back tomorrow to answer questions related to buying, selling and investing in property. Kartik, thank you very much for coming in. Hope to see more of you this year. Right? And you all know how to reach out to us. You can write into us on email, on Facebook. You can send in video queries now at feedback@mbnow.in. You can also tweet to me. I would love to hear from you. Or you could call in live like all the other callers you saw on this show. Right? So reach out to us and get your queries answered. And keep watching Magicbricks Now.